So I guess, firstly, thank you for taking time out to speak to me, and congratulations on getting Scarlet Blue into Fright Fest. This is, the big 25th anniversary. How are you feeling about the selection and the screening?
For me, it's a dream, because I discovered Fright Fest, I think around 5 years ago, because Fornacis, my first feature film, was selected in a few festivals in England, and one of the festival was at Birmingham. It was Cine XS, and I won the prize. And in the jury, there were guest or jury, I didn't remember. They were Paul from FrightFest, and so I meet the guy there, and he fell in love with Fornacis, and he asked me, uh, why didn't you submit Fornacis in Fright Fest, But we didn't submit because it was for me, as I auto produced my film by myself. Fornacis was a very independent movie, very small budget, so I didn't have enough money to submit to Fright Fest, and so Paul said, "Okay, your next film you have to submit," and I say yes, of course. Then time go, and it's 5 years after I made my new video film, Scarlet Blue, and finger crossed, I'd sent the film to the festival, and then I think 2 months ago, Paul gave me and Greg the big news that we are in the selection, and for me is a dream. It would be my first time that I come in London. And it would be my first time in I think it's the most important fantastic film festival that I will make in my life. That means a lot for me, because with Scarlet Blue we make a huge festival in India. Kolkata International Film Festival is very big festival, but for normal movies, not fantastic movies. We were in competition, but for a new way of making movies, innovation movies. But this time in Fright Fest, it's a huge thing for me. I think it's a dream, and I just announced the official selection last week because I was anxious that if I announce it, it will disappear. Because for me, it's a real dream. So I'm waiting, and I'm so exciting because I come for the screening, so I will be able to meet the audience, to meet all the director of festival. It would be a very important moment for me. Yes.
And sort of going back to the beginning, why
Yes.
did you decide that you wanted to be a filmmaker? Why did you decide that this was the life for you?
In fact, I think I didn't decide. I was, since I'm a little girl, I grew up with artistic family because my father used to be an artist, a very important artist in Réunion. And in France, is famous because is the first man who bring contemporary art in Réunion Islands, and he built with my mother the first museum of art contemporary in Réunion, and it was so difficult because they were only two, and they don't have money from government. They built alone during 40 years. It's a huge museum called Palais Sept Portes, and it's amazing. So I grew up with my father and a lot of artists from international country who come each year to make exhibition and art residence here. And so it was so hard. So I always say to my father, I will never be an artist, never, ever, ever, because it was too difficult life. So as I was a very good in at school. I make a long mathematic study at French Sorbonne University during 6 years, and then I'm getting it was like my life is not my real life, and one day, one night exactly, I decided to stop the university and get inside acting studio in Paris. And so I learned to be an actress. And in the same time, in the same school, I learned to directing actor, not making movies, but directing actor in theater. You know what I mean? It's very different. And so I begin to write, and I begin to shoot video, music, short movies, and like that. And that's why I always playing in my film, because I'm also an actress. At first, I begin like an actress, but in France, with my face, like I'm come from another country of Iceland, I not look like a French actress. So it was very difficult to be taking for casting, because I'm not like the French girl,
Yeah.
but I'm not like a girl from Rainian Islands, and so it was very difficult. That's why I decided to always writing all the things that I want, and playing and directing, and everything was like that. Same together, make the clothes because I love costume, make the light at the beginning. I make all the things on my shot, and then I begin to have some, team with me. But at the beginning, I make everything, and it was hard, and I learned step by step, and it was very difficult. But why I make a movie, I think it's to tell how I see the world. And for me, I'm not a good social person, I'm not, I don't have a lot of friends. I'm not comfortable with a lot of people. I became very scary when there's a lot of people somewhere, and that's why it's not easy to be a director, because in festival you've got some party and never go to party, so some people think that I'm not good person, but in fact I'm just scary, and I think when people see my movies, they can understood how it's complicated in my head, because my movie is not a feel good movie. I think I always deal with depression, with double genre, with sexuality, femininity, a lot of things like that. Is very complicated in my life. So that's why I think movies save sell. It's to be able to keep working, to keep stay in life.
And Scarlet Blue is, it's a beautiful film, the shot compositions, the hair, the makeup, the costume. How much went into that process, and why was it important for you that the film looked how it did?
For since the beginning, as I say, my father was a painter. I For me, it's the most important is aesthetic. I can't make a movie if the movie didn't look like a painting. That's the first step, and it's not easy to make this understood to the team, because in France it's not it's not the way to make movies. Few directors in France take so much care about the beautiful step of the shooting. They can make a beautiful yes shooting, but not like painting. Painting, people often don't care about that. That means that it's hard to have this final result. And I work a lot on the set, but before the set I work many months before. I collecting a lot of picture, of painting, of photography, of sometimes of clothes, and around 500, sometimes more picture. And this became my magic book for the movies. After this, a lot of picture I collecting during I'm writing. And in my script you have everything, the color, the camera, the everything is so. My script is not easy to read, because I put a lot of information inside for the team, for the DOP, for everything, for the actor, how they will, the clothes, everything is really like in a book, not like in a script, normal script. And then I begin with the clothes. I make the clothes because addict to vintage clothes. So I go in all the thing vintage in Paris, and I collecting many thing, and I say, okay, now I have my costume. And then during 2 months, we go for the first time of my life in Basque country, in France and Spain, very south in France. I never know this. I never been before. And because people who put money in the film say, okay, but we live there, so you have to shoot there. And I say, okay. So I took the flight from Réunion to Basque country, and I discovered this, and it was very different from the script, because at the beginning I want to shoot in England or in Canada. And so I discovered this location, and I had to project to focus my head to this new, situation. And during all the times that I visit all the place, I choose some location for shooting, and I write a new script. It was exactly the same action inside, but with new, place to shoot. But I keep the clothes. That's why even when the sun, I put, winter clothes, because this was the feeling of the character inside. And during these 2 months of visiting the Basque country, I took maybe 2,000 photos, maybe more. And yes, of course, and exactly how I want to shoot, And then I make a short selection, and I give it to my DOP with a really, I was very, how can I say in English, but I really explain how I want the light for each, location. So it was very, very, for example, for the station, gas station, I say, okay, I want this place, and I want the neon like that. Okay, it was very precise. And I think for working with me, the most difficult for the team is to find their, their own liberty inside a very, very straight line, because I really know what I want, and I can't accept to shoot something that I don't like. I never do that. I don't say action, even if we have to make action. I just make action when everything is perfect. But I don't shoot. I don't. The most shooting I make is 5 times, never more. I exactly know, so it's easy. But we have to do the thing I have in my head, because I need to be very, very, comfortable with the thing I had, and I should. That's the main point. The film is just my vision. I can't share this vision with other people on the shoot. I can't do that.
That's it makes sense. It's your vision. There are, you look at somebody like James Cameron. That's very much how he works as well. It's his child from start to finish. He does the storyboards. He knows how he wants it to look. So it's
Yes.
not an unusual way to work though.
Yeah, but when you are a woman, and a woman from Réunion Island, because even if Réunion is part of France, but it's so far away from France, it's next to Madagascar, and it's very small. It's not easy to arrive with a team who live in France and say, okay, I want that, And if you are James Cameron, everybody say yes. But when you are a woman and who shoot woman body, woman desire, woman sexuality, you can't imagine how difficult is it to go and to have at the end the movie you want, and how difficult is it to convince people. You have to fight, you have to explain many times, and you lose so much time on the shoot only to explain that you really want that, and that at the end you will have that. So people have to get with you, to go with you. But it's very hard when you are a woman. It's so I think it's the most complicated thing. It's to be a woman in this kind of movies. Yes,
Definitely.
yes,
Um, but hopefully, with your other film and now with this film, you can show that to people and maybe, they'll be a little bit more, open and
yes.
relaxed about, because you know your stuff, you know what you are doing.
Yes, I hope the third movies will be more easier to the shooting because on the post production I have the same team since uh, since 15 years. They love me, it's like my family. The sound designer, the color correction, and the editor, they are very close to me because we begin like together, They come, they arrive in my life. I think I had making only three short before, and then they arrive and they fell in love with my universe, and so they was really crazy, to have the opportunity to go inside this kind of movie. And they were amazing because as my father was very sick, and so my father and my mother come with me in Basque country for the shooting, but then I was not able to make the post production, but it was initially preview in Paris. I go back in Réunion to be close to my father, who have a chemotherapy. And so I want to be very close to my father and be able to make the post production. And all my team from post production come with me to live in Réunion to make the post production. And they were not, they are not guys who like traveling. They are very French in Paris, very comfortable in their life, and they say, okay, do you be able to come with me, with my family, live in my parents' house with me during the chemotherapy, and also working together each day and each night because my father was so sick that we don't have any time. We have to finish the movie before he passed away. Unfortunately, he passed away before the end of the sound, but we are finished the editing, the color shape, and a big part of the sound. So my father, I've been able to watch many times the movie in a big screen in Réunion. I took a theater and screened the movie for him and my family before, and it was the main important thing for me. So it was a kind of very difficult way of making movies because you have like a gun on the head and you say, okay, you have to finish, and nobody understands what you mean, what you do, but you have to finish for your father. It was like that. That's why for me FrightFest is a huge thing, because this selection means so much for me and means so much for my father, for my mother, because before my father dying, I said that I will make this movie traveling because he has a small character inside the film, yes, and also he makes the making of, because he has always makes the making of my film since I begin, and my shorts and Fornacis he helped me to produce, and my family has not many money. We are not rich people. Even if he had a museum, the museum he make with my mother like me, very independently, very working hard. So I know, I'm not a rich girl that can make movies to have fun. It's not like that. That's why Fright Face is a big moment for me. Yes.
And why do you hope that the audience take a chance on your film? Because I mean, it's completely unlike anything else on the program, but why do you hope that people take a chance on it?
I don't know. Since I think I finished the movie at the end of October, the 22 October last year, and the 22/5 October, we were the first screen. So at the opening in Romania. So only 3 days after finish the movie, it was at the opening of Romania, and I was the president of the jury. They invite me, so I travel from Réunion, arrive in Romania freezing, and then and screen the movie. And then since October, the movie is really making a beautiful travel tour in festival. So we were in For time in Spain, we were in India, Romania, and Portugal, and each time people, the audience are amazing, and I think the most surprise for me was in Kolkata, because Kolkata, it was two screening with 1,000 people each screening. Okay, so huge, big screening. Even people with children, and I was a little shocked because my movie is quite not for children. But they say, I the organization, and I go to the audience and say, it's not for children. And they say, no, we love this festival. We come and with all the family, and okay. And after the two screening in Kolkata, the audience was, I think we have a talk between 1 hour, and then a huge press point with more than 50 journalists, and everybody talk about the schizophrenia, the sexuality, the LGBT point of view. And it was amazing because India is not, the country of the liberty, it's not the country of the sexuality, but it's a country of cinema. And it was amazing to see in the eyes, to understood with the question how people was so touched about the film who deals with mental disease. And I think this was the point, the main thing that I have in traveling. People always talk about schizophrenia, and they always say that it's a very courageous movie about that. And people, the audience, love the fact that I don't make a classical movie that can be in a hospital, and when you got a lot of doctor try to understand. It's not a movie like that, because my best friend used to be schizophrenic, and since I was with very close to her when she became schizophrenic, and it was wow, a very big thing in Iranian. Nobody understood what it mean, and a lot of things you have in the movie, she's met it in real life, Of course, not with this color, not with, but get out without clothes. And she was only 16, 16, a teenager. And she was, she has never had sex before, get out because she became crazy, walking without clothes in the big street, have sex with somebody he didn't know, and have no memories after that. And her father was crazy, didn't find her, and found her in a police station. That means a lot of people didn't know about what is to be a very strong, to suffer from a strong schizophrenia, and how it's violent to make something that your body, you are not, you can't control your body, your own body. You have another people come inside you and take possession of you. That's why for me this I want to deal with schizophrenia like a possession movies, because it's kind of that I do like that. And that's why because I was very close to my friend, so I really know what she do. And she tried to kill her mother, and mother during she's sleeping. So I it's real. And that's why I try to do my best to get inside the head, because for me it's a love declaration. I don't know, it's love telling, it's a love song to people who suffer from mental, for madness, for things like that. And that's why I use to get inside schizophrenia. That's why I use two different actresses, because I want that the two actors don't have the memories that she don't play, So I use for the facet connected, alter facet connected to reality, I use a French actress called Amélie, and she's only play the reality of alter. And so she was not on the set when the second actress, Anne-Sophie Charon, plays the schizophrenia part of Altair, the sexuality part of Altair. And that it's very important because these two different actresses with two different personality, I asked her to become the same person, but they don't know how the other play. And that was the main focus and the main challenge. And for me, it's mean a lot because they are very different in life. They don't look like the same. Only eyes and the mouth, but the hair is very different, and they are 10 years different. One are 10 years older from the other, and it works. In cinema, it's magic. But Anne-Sophie Charon is a really physique actress. That's why, and she's very, comfortable with nudity, with because she dance. I think she used to make some art, a fight. So she was very, powerful inside, and she's very comfortable with her body. So it was perfect for all the thing with the body, and she also played the ghost, the woman with a very long hair, with eating the fish, and still really eats the fish, and it's a real fish. And she was amazing for that. And the other actress, Amélie Dor, is an actress very more, social movie, and that's why I use her for the part depressed and very in reality, and she's very in life not comfortable with her body. She's can't comfortable with nudity. That's why it's very interesting, because at the end, I think with two different actors, I touch the thing I want to touch at the beginning of my script: schizophrenia and lost memories, and the same body with two different parts inside. Yes.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Well, I'm going to wish you the best of luck with the screening. I'm sure Fright Fest are going to love it.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope there will be some audience, because the movies is in afternoon. I don't know. I've never been in Fright Fest. I don't know if people come to watch movies in afternoon, but I hope there will be some people, and I'm very excited because Paul says that we have a time to make answer and question after the screening with the audience. So I'm so excited to meet the audience. Yes, and to come in London. Yes.